everybody, happy Sunday to you all. And y'all know what I mean, right? It is Self-Care Sunday. And for those of you who are new over here, Self-Care Sunday basically is us. If we're not working on a Sunday, or even if we have to go to work at some point, we earmark a little bit of time for ourselves where we take care of ourselves physically and mentally. And there is no better day to do that than on a Sunday, right? All right. Now, on a Sunday, me wax and shine and duke on my body, and today was no different. Normally, I follow that up with a cup of coffee, which I've done already. Now, I am here enjoying a glass of fermented grape juice, and I would like to give my unsolicited opinion on something. Nobody never asked me, I just know. Now, you remember this Bible verse that we were taught as children? It's 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? Now, what I'm about to say is going to cause some of you to employ cognitive dissonance. So let me preface the conversation by saying this. What I say is exactly what I mean. If I say the grass is green, you do not need to tell me that the sky is blue. You can debate respectfully in the comments, but please, the disrespect is not going to be tolerated, okay? Now, that scripture there talks about maturing, being an adult, changing our level of reasoning and understanding of the world as it is, right? But I am strongly of the purview that if we do not resolve and reconcile our inner child, we are never going to be happy, healthy, peaceful adults. Hear me out, okay? I'm not saying that we're not functioning, right? But I believe that in order to be happy, healthy, at peace with ourselves, a lot of the things that we grew up seeing and learning, we need to resolve them some way, some shape or form. It is easier said than done, and I'm not even saying it's going to be an easy process to get through. But to get to that end of the rainbow, we need to go through the rain. Hear me out. Many of us, or perhaps all of us, at some point in our childhood, experienced something that caused us trauma, right? And even now, if you just reflect, you can find that one thing that happened that to this day it triggers you, and that thing became a part of how you decide to format your life. So whether you are an aggressive person, whether you have a bossy mentality, whether you have a meek mentality, whether you are a well-developed person because you're able to handle the situation, or whether you're a person who is always in fight or flight, we can probably always roll back the tides and find that situation in our childhood that brought us to this place. We were people who were dependent on others because as a child, you have no independence really. You're dependent on your growth and development from the people around you. And sometimes they use their trauma to raise you or they didn't. And this is not for everybody. So please don't tell me that you were raised well. Just listen to me, please. And so in all of that, we have established ourselves as human beings based on the type of trauma and our lived experiences from our past childhood years. Zine? Or on the flip side, we have those happy moments in our childhood, and those are the moments we choose to cling to as an adult. Whether it's remembering the days when you used to go down a river go catch Jenga, or being at the crossing playing sightings with your friend them and drop and strip up your foot and you need them, or whether it's playing cricket and Miss Cherry Cow start run you down and you jump over the barbed wire and scrape up your foot. All those happy memories that you remember leads to that boost in serotonin and dopamine, and you cling to those memories because they genuinely make you happy. But even within those moments, we're drawing from the happy moments, and many times we don't resolve or reconcile the traumatic moments. And it shapes us as adults. And even to this day, when we decide that, this is the person I'm going to become, this is the person that I need to be, this is how I'm going to make myself happy and at peace with the world, you're never going to be at peace until you resolve that inner child, until you make that inner child happy. So I get it. As an adult, we're not going to behave as children. Absolutely not. But I know for many of us, we've had interactions with people or even caught ourselves in moments when we're like, damn, that was so juvenile. Or you're like, so I really feel like me I deal with one big picnic. Or why are you behaving like a petulant child? Come on, be adult about it. Tap into your grown-up self. And many people do not even realize that they're interacting in a childlike manner. You get what I mean? You don't? All right. That coworker at work that throws a tantrum every time they don't get what they want. That partner who walks away from every conversation that might cause some form of angst instead of trying to work through the conversation to come to middle ground, or not even a compromise, but to find a solution. That friend who talks about you behind your back and refuses to address anything up front. That manager that believes that they need to eat their young or backbite because their experience as a younger person, them feel like you need to come up and suffer and struggle just like they did. You see what I mean now, right? All of those behaviors are as a result of unresolved and unreconciled issues with our inner child. Now, please understand, a lot of us will never get there, and a lot of us may never be able to handle all of it because it's just too much. But I'm just saying, we cannot consider ourselves mature people walking in our adulthood years and being progressive, happy, healthy people if we don't address the things that affected us as children. So yeah, there is one thing of not being a child, not speaking as a child, not thinking as a child anymore. But we also need to satisfy that child in us that was never happy, that has those traumatic events, that, yearns for peace and happiness and healthy boundaries and just well-being. It is important for all of us to get there, and not all of us will. Find a way to satisfy that inner child. It might be therapy. It might be your pastor. It might be talking to those family members that hurt you and just getting it out, even if it means that you will never speak to them again. Taking care of that inner child sometimes requires you to be selfish, but that selfishness is also self-care. So on this Self-Care Sunday, if you choose to relax or reflect, think about your inner child. Think about doing something to make that inner child happy and see how much better it's going to make you feel on a whole. Happy Self-Care Sunday.